Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Sloss and Humphries on the road, where we're finally back together. Sloss and Humphries. Kai has been away gigging on his tour. I have been being lazy and hanging out with Lewis Capaldi because I'm cool. And we sort of reunited here. I'm going to be honest with you, we don't really talk about the wedding. We kind of touch on it, we try to get into it, but it's like a really, you know, it's hard to fucking talk about because it was a 4-day thing and we don't know what you want to know. So we talk about it for a bit. We mainly talk about, I'm definitely racist to North Koreans, a lot in it. And I don't regret it. And this isn't like a warning. This isn't like a trigger warning, because no North Koreans will listen to this because they're not allowed to. And I don't regret what I said. And I don't think I'll take it back. But just be aware. You can, and also feel free to send it to people in North Korea. I'm not scared of any of them. I'm not scared of a single North Korean because none of them can leave their country. So, if you're Phillip Schofield, don't listen to this episode because, oh boy, do you get a good going, you fucking pedo. Jeez, oh, we go after you. Alleged pedo. Confirmed pedo. That statement was unwise but not illegal. Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and Cream, Cream and Muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
You need to get divorced immediately.
Why?
How long have you been married? Nearly 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks on the nose? Tomorrow? Danny, I haven't had a solid shit since you've been married.
Yeah, but how many solid shits did you have before I was married?
I have more than one. Mate, I've had, like, let us rephrase it. I've had explosive diarrhea since you got married. 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not food poisoning anymore. That's like dysentery or cholera or IBS.
Mm. Yeah, but I mean, you've always had arsehole problems. There's no...
Yeah,
I don't think anyone listening to the podcast will have any sympathy when it comes to your arsehole.
I'm tying this to your marriage.
So, man, spin it however you got to spin it. Nobody listening to this podcast believes anyone is responsible for your arsehole other than you.
Anyway, congratulations, mate.
Thanks, man.
How are you feeling? You had a nice couple of weeks?
Aye.
You recovered?
Yeah, mainly. I mean, here's one of the most annoying bits about after you get married is your new wife will say, "Can you believe it's over?" 17 times a fucking day, while you go, "Yeah, I can."
Yeah,
That's how time elapses.
Thank fuck.
like I miss it. It was fun.
I was really looking forward to you stop banging on about the wedding, but here we are.
Aye. But no, it's really nice because, man, we had such a fucking good weekend. But like, I am able to reflect on it and be like, what a good weekend. And she's like, but it's over. And I'm like, how are we not past this point?
Yeah.
It is over. And guess what, darling? It's over forever. It's never coming back.
Do you think it was more all-consuming for her because of the 89% of organising?
Yes.
And
because it doesn't feel much different to me because I wasn't doing anything
because she was on maternity leave, so her whole focus while shugging the baby was organising this wedding.
Yeah,
like,
well,
you still were on tour and doing things like that.
Yeah, and so, I was a point of call for certain like decisions and whatever, but like she was thinking about it, you know, all the time, and I wasn't because I'm very used to letting smarter women run my life in the background.
Aye, background. Leading from the front. So it's just our chat's dried up.
Yeah.
You need to give us something else to focus on, Daniel. Put another baby in her.
Well, no, that's been her argument, but as I've
on a skiing holiday next year.
No, she'll be pregnant by then.
Okay.
She's not coming to Altitude.
No, she's not.
Nah.
But you want to bring Kaylin, bud?
No.
You don't?
No.
Oh, but they're so cute when they're little ducklings on their skis. You know,
he's not fucking skiing, first of all. I'm not raising a fucking French Tory.
Do you not have to do that first, though?
No, absolutely not. I did, but you don't have to.
Do you have snowboarding at that age?
Absolutely.
You know, that like you can't even walk fully yet, but we're putting you on skis.
I'd rather he picked up snowboarding at 7 than he picked up skiing at 2.
Aye. Keep him working class.
No. There's two things.
Even though you're born into wealth, you're new money, son.
There are 3.
You are still new money.
There are 3 things you are not allowed to be as a child in my family. I will disown you. European, religious, and what was the one you said?
A Macam.
No, that's
No,
for
you
you.
can't have a... No, even you.
No, I'm fine with it. Well, also,
You're not fine with having a Mackem son.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. Oh, it's fine.
Shut up, man.
I can't. I'm not having a European son. I'm not having a Christian son, and I'm not having any fucking religion. And what we were literally just talking about,
Skiing, mate.
skiing. And I'm not having a fucking skier or a Tory. Sorry, but that's skiing and Tory.
They come hand in hand.
Aye.
I think it's fine to ski up until the age of 10. And then you've got to get on your snowboard or what you're doing. It's base. It's like, you know what, like, you get...
I say this as someone that did ski until I was 12 and then got into snowboarding.
You'd like get your kid into gymnastics because you want them to have like a base level of like centre of gravity, right? So that they can apply that to downhill mountain bike and snowboard and Muay Thai, football, whatever they do, right? If you get them into gymnastics, they're going to be class at whatever they put them into. But you don't want them to keep on with the gymnastics.
Man, if Kaelin wants to do fucking ballet, I will go to every single ballet class with him. I'll buy him the best fucking shoes. I'll encourage him to get into tap. I'll encourage him to get into fucking musicals. If he comes home and says, "Can I ski?" I don't have a son. I don't have a son.
Do you think that's like a class traitor?
No, just it's French. It's just fucking French.
But then
I will not have a Frenchman in my fucking house under any circumstance.
You know what I hate with skiers? Is where they go, but it's faster than snowboarding. And then you're like, so why have none of you ever overtaken us? Why are you taking up the thing that's faster and then not using the thing that's good about it?
Why'd you drive a fucking sedan if speed's important to you, you losers? No, I'm not. So she's not. So we're going on our honeymoon in like November. She's definitely, she wants another kid. She's not unsubtle about that. But I'm like, there is not a fucking chance you want to be pregnant in the Maldives. It would be the worst trip of your fucking life because that's not what it's there for. But after that, she'll hopefully have a fucking baby in her. I'm doing altitude. She might come, I might convince her, but if she's going to be fucking pregnant, what's in altitude? Skiing, snowboarding, can't do that. Drinking, can't do that. Can't get in hot water, can't get in saunas.
Shit tons of cheese.
Nothing.
Can you eat shit tons of cheese when you're pregnant?
No.
Can you not?
No.
Can I get in the sauna?
No.
Need sauna?
No jacuzzi.
You can't really get into a snowball fight?
No.
In case anyone puts a stone in.
There's nothing
Throws
for
it
her.
at your belly. I don't know how to do that.
We've still because now I am enjoying being married because like for us nothing really has changed except for like the feeling. Like for me it's like the wedding was never the goal. It was always like a marker in the distance. And now that it's passed, it's the start for the rest of our lives together, which I find exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the rest of our lives together. That's why I proposed to her and got married to her. Like this is the big. Whereas her thing, and I don't know if this is like a gender fucking thing, but her thing is like. Oh, like the wedding was the
event.
the thing.
The event, not
And
the
then-
marriage.
Yeah, and now there's
So you were excited for being married and she was excited for a wedding.
yeah, and she's
So your thing that you're excited for is all consuming and it's all around you and it's all ahead of you. And her thing that she was excited for is in the past.
yeah, no,
Oh, no, poor Cara.
no. I mean, we got kids. I mean, look, we're enjoying being.
She's like, I've got nothing left to look forward to.
She's got two cats.
My kid's not a baby anymore. My cat's are barely kittens anymore. My wedding's in the past. I'm an old lady.
You said this when you came in. The cats are definitely still kittens. They're
Well,
just bigger than normal cats.
They're bigger than normal cats.
Yes, but they're still absolutely kittens.
But you know, if I went in and like, your toddler was there, but he had a bit of a fucking goatee beard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, oh, your toddler. I'd be like, well, he's went through puberty already.
Yeah.
That's an adult. That's an adolescent.
One of Jack's friend as a kid was a kid called Harris. I might say his name because he plays for Scotland Rugby now, or he's the youth team. He was, I think, a year younger than Jack, but from the age of 4 was 1 foot taller, and that's not me.
Like
that's
actual,
not hyperbole.
Like an
actual
foot taller.
legitimate fucking foot taller than all of the kids, and everyone thought he was mentally ill. Because
held back.
he was
Billy
the
Madison.
size, he was in a primary fucking one with 5-year-olds, and he looked like a 9-year-old, and he was still saying biscuit. And
Yeah,
people
I
were
was
like,
going to say, just because his body development doesn't mean his mind development's been faster. He could be slow.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
could be a bit slower.
He wasn't slow. He was normal. He was just huge. He was just an unbelievably tall 5-year-old.
That's it. That person lives a different life to other kids. Your whole world experience is different to other
People
kids.
speaking to him slower, treating him like he's fucking thick. No wonder he ended up in rugby. Man, there's a friend of ours who I will not fucking name, but who is from Africa, and none of us know his age. None of us know his age because he won't tell us because it's got to do with like the visa for which country he's staying in now. Mm-hmm. He lied on it to live in that.
Does he even know his age?
Not really.
It's a secret that was whispered to him when he was 5.
Yeah.
And he kind of half remembers it. He vaguely thinks.
Yeah. So it's either like such a big secret that he won't even tell me and our other good friends, or he just doesn't know him himself.
I googled to see if I was going to turn 40 on my next birthday, in case I got it wrong.
What do you mean?
I just thought to myself, like, if I was born in 83, and then 2023, I was like, oh, but like, you're born at 0 years old. So you have a whole year at 0. But then obviously 40's got a 0 on it.
Yeah.
So that's how that adds up.
It's like how people, and by people I mean Americans, don't understand how centuries work. Because if you go, what year, the year 056 is in which century? They're like 0, you're like, no, it's in the first century. It's in the first century. And they're like, but there's not a 1 at the front. You go, because it's within the first century, which is 0 to 100.
So the 21st century...
They'll be like, but it's not, it's the 20th century, it's 2023. You fucking Brits.
So you know if somebody scores in the 69th minute in a game of football, they've actually scored in the 70th minute?
Yes. Which is how I know that, because...
That's where the bets pay out. I've never betted on the minute, but is that how the bets pay out?
Because
you can bet on like a throw-in happening in the 7th minute.
Yeah.
But would that happen between the minute 6 and 7? For that to be the 7th minute, because if you're betting on the
it's never
first
that
minute,
specific. I don't think it's ever that fucking specific.
Well, if you're betting on the first minute, you're betting between 0
and 1.
Right. So to then,
I can't imagine how many fucking people message Paddy Power when there's a goal scored in the 53rd second, right? And they're in the 1 minute and 53 seconds, and they're like, "That's the first minute. That's the first minute." You're like, it's
not the first minute. That's the second minute.
It's the second minute.
Count how many minutes there's been. You got taught how to count to 2 first. That was the first thing we taught you.
Yeah. And somehow, at the age of 40, you fucked it up and forgotten.
So I thought I had one of them. And I was just like, ooh, maybe. The optimism. The sheer optimism of just going, I mean, nobody's checked. Nobody's checked. I am turning 40.
And soon.
Mm-hmm.
Soon.
And have you seen how bald I'm getting at the back?
Yeah. Oh, aye.
Look at that, get that on the camera.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That's that double crown's joined up, hasn't it?
So what's
Well, luckily I'm not short. Because my wife doesn't notice it. She's shorter than me.
Aye, okay.
And my gig, I'm on stage. I'm up above people.
Yeah.
I'm getting away with it.
Mm-hmm. Can't wear hats, though. Famously.
Can't wear hats, which also means, because if nobody knows, I can't wear hats because I've got transparent eyebrows. It makes us look like I've had chemo when I've got a hat on, because if I cover up my hair, it looks like I've got no hair on my face also. Ergo, chemo.
Brave boy, big brave boy.
So I can't wear hats because of that. That also means I can't shave my head.
Wait.
Because if I look like I've got no hair on my head and my eyebrows, I just look straight up chemo, not no hat.
Okay, so here's the question. Do you go to Turkey for a hair transplant, or do you go to Turkey for an eyebrow transplant?
I could just tint my eyebrows, couldn't I? Wear a hat.
Yeah, just like...
I mean, actually just get them tattooed on.
Maybe that's an experiment we should do. If I will do after this, we'll run mascara through your things, and then we'll put a hat on you and see if that looks more...
I don't think you put mascara on eyebrows.
No, but I get, but we're not tinting it. We're not dyeing it. You just do that because that's washable off. Right. Also, that's what I used to do whenever I could, like, just been like, well, if my beard hair was actually, black.
Did you mascara bum fluff?
When I was like 17, 18, absolutely. Just seeing like, what would I look like if this had colour? And I'm like, oh, still splotchy and shit. That's not. It's just not enough hair.
Yep, I look like I've designed my face on Skyrim.
Yeah. I look like a 1980s cartoon drawing of somebody with stubble. Like you can physically count the 9 bits of stubble sticking out there. It's a Scooby-Doo beard. I look like fucking Shaggy, just the 3 little fucking bits there.
So I mean, I could go and get it dealt with financially. I didn't. Well, there now, aren't we? Like, it's not like the Bill Burr sketch.
No, but there was a video or a picture posted online.
Bill Burr would like it that I called one of his stand-up routines a sketch. Now that little skit they'll be doing.
Your wee bit.
His turn.
There's a picture online of flight back from Turkey, and it's just the backs of 14 men's head, all bandaged and everything. And here's
I don't know if I'm ready for the fucking torture of it either.
Here's the thing. I have a little bit of sympathy to bald white men because we're never going to stop bullying you. You little fucking slaphead. We're never going to stop
that
bullying.
little face when they try to call it sexual assault and everyone's like,
God, the fuck.
wrong, Baldy. Haha, Baldy, get your tits out, get your cunt out, Baldy.
Fucking bald fuck.
Get your rat out your bald tit.
Let's see if you get any hair on your little tiny bald cock, you fucking...
I was wanking off your tiny little bald cock,
you fucking...
Sexual assault, is it? Fucking how do you like them apples?
How about when I'm fucking from behind, I slap your chrome dome? Or is that one of your arse cheeks? It's hard to tell, you little fucking...
Molesting you, man.
Oh, here's a rape whistle. Fucking grow up. Sexual assault. If you call it sexual assault, I'll physically fucking assault you.
Do you think he's got the X2 where he does a 45-minute low well fucking Cullen got called Baldy?
So I've got sympathy. Because it's not your choice.
Because no one cares
Because
about
nobody cares.
Nobody cares
Do you know
about
why?
you.
It's because you're a straight white man. Right? And this
straight
is
white
the
bald
one
man.
thing that's it. A straight white bald man. That's it. Nobody cares if you're suffering. And that's not fair. It's not fair. Because you didn't choose to be bald. And there's a stigma surrounded it. And some people don't like it. And you're made fun of. And that sucks. It sucks. But listen to it. So if you call it sexual harassment again... Up your arse. That's what it's. Come on, I'll show you what sexual harassment is.
You cannot sexually harass a bald man even if it's sexual.
And if anyone disagrees, we'll get Craig Hill on to defend himself.
So you feel sorry for bald men? I
do feel sorry. Just like because I mean, me and you have had this discussion before. I am going grey, and I'm going to do nothing about going grey. Like, it's just part of the process of growing up, and I don't mind getting older. Like, it's not the best thing, but man, I had really good youth years. If this is the price of it, you know
what? Also, I feel like I'd be more comfortable with going bald if I was a dad. Like
that has made this easier.
I think I could of course your dad's bald. He's a dad. He's stressed to fuck.
Yeah. Of course he's got a beer belly. He's a dad.
But I think I'm gonna have to be out fucking ice tits teeth if I'm turning 50 with any kids.
Well, because I think if you're bald and you go to Turkey, because like the surgery is at a point now where it's good and it's it's not safe enough that they're doing it in the UK yet. But I've seen so many people with hair transplants where you cannot tell the difference. It's a viable option. And if people fucking feel insecure about it and you've been bullied about it by arseholes like us for, since you were fucking 16, 20,
so
whenever your
what?
meal pack. Yeah, so what? So what, Toots? What are you going to do? Cry about it in the ladies' bathroom? You should have a tampon in you. Show us your tits, you wee bald kid. Go on.
Bald phobia. It's fallow grown. It's fallow grown. You can be as bald phobic as you want. Going back to fucking Egg Planet. Going back to Eggville, Tennessee, you fucking bald coot.
And this is so brutal because I guarantee it was only like two fat bald men who were like, and they were gammons and they were in their 60s and they were like, well, after the Me Too movement, if you're not allowed to comment on a woman's looks, you shouldn't be allowed to comment on a man's look. So if you call a man bald, that's it. I guarantee it was just two or three old gammery fucking cunts that put, but the way newspapers work, they put that in and then cunts like us read it and use it as fuel to the fire. But I bet you bald little pansies agreed with it.
In me going, It's like fucking when you do a 23 and me and find out you're like 3% African.
Like, I can say whatever I want about him. I can say whatever I fucking want about him.
Start doing Alfie Brown routines.
Always like to come and defend yourself, Alfie.
Please do. I did. Did I tell? I haven't. I don't know if I've told you or if I've even mentioned on the podcast. But did I tell you about when I fucking put my foot in my mouth for Alfie Brown on the bus?
You told me as a person, yes.
It's fucking.
We can't do it without naming a scummy person's name.
Okay. No, I can.
Okay.
And I might have mentioned this on the Mickey Bartlett podcast, but I'll tell it to you, right? So there's a fucking parody account of a comedian who's anti-woke, right? And the parody account is just this cartoon of them just going, oh, I'm sick of all this woke shit, and people want to use gender-neutral toilets now, and it's just like a fucking piss take.
Of how shit his comedy is.
Of anti-wokeness, right? And I'm just on the fucking, it's a little mini bus. There's about 8 or 9 comics on the bus. Mickey Bartlett, Connor Burns and that. Alfie Brown's in there, New Zealand lad who I just met. And I'm like, oh, who makes this, by the way? Because it's come up on my feed, a new thing. I was like, who makes this? And we're speculating who could it be. Like, is it Richard Gard? Like, Alfie Brown threw a few things in. And Mickey Bartlett had never seen it before. And he was like, what is it like? And I just explained what I've explained to you. And then I was like, shall we watch one? Turned the radio down, got everyone in the fucking people carrier, like fucking lean in, form a huddle around my phone, right? And press play. And the opening line was, you see this? Alfie Brown's just been cancelled just for using the N-word 97 times. And I fucking exploded. Like I didn't know what my fucking phone was like a bar of soap with my hands, right? Alfie afterwards scans. The way you fucking hid your phone was like you were scrolling through pictures to your mum and you accidentally put on a nude. Like you honestly trying to protect us from it. But everyone fucking lost their mind because the way it was set up, who made this? Like, does anybody know who made this? I had not heard of it. Come here and have a listen. It looked like I set it up. I had to be like, I wish I had the composure.
Yeah.
Even as a fucking veteran comedian that's been going for nearly 15 years, I have not got the composure to do that kind of setup. It would have been too perfect.
Also, thank God it happened to fucking Alfie, because I could name 20 comedians off the top of my head who it would have been an entirely different fucking reaction. And
he loved it, man.
Of course he did.
It was such a cathartic laugh in the bus because we couldn't get over what had happened. Geordie had to pull over the bus. She was fucking trying to pull out to laugh. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't drive. Like we were howling, and it was such a fucking really good, just like. Elephant in the room, is that? I've got this. I have got this. Everyone, let's fucking get rid of this unspoken thing that's in the coach. But it was just class. It was so fucking funny. And like even telling it secondhand, because Alfie was just like, I'm going to try and explain how funny that was to me missus when I get back to the hotel. And he said he was like, it was still funny when I told her. But just not as funny as the actual, because just that in the moment, live in the moment, fucking, you seen this? Alfie Brown's just been cancelled. I was like, cover them in.
Everyone watch this thing. Watch this thing. Insulting. Keep watching. Alfie, you'll like it. He says the P word.
Should we talk more about your wedding?
Sure.
Do you know?
Wait, I've got something that I just want to talk about because I've I read this thing today and I cannot get it out of my fucking head, and I just find it so funny. So, North Korea is still trying to get satellite into space, but they're just so unbelievably shit at fucking everything.
They need the help of other nations,
and no other nations will help them because they're North fucking Korea, right? So Kim Jong Un is still trying to fucking get all this stuff, and he's so thick, and there's no real scientists in North Korea because there's no real education in North Korea. Because if you were educated in North Korea, you would be like, oh, hold on, this is archaic, right? So even the top scientist in North Korea, I am smarter than. I have no doubt in my fucking mind. I am smarter.
I'm not sure about that.
Unless they stole him from South Korea.
Are you being
racist?
Silly?
No.
Do you actually think you're smarter than the greatest scientist in North Korea?
I 100% believe that.
Wow.
I 100% believe.
That's mad.
Right, let's see. How many times have I failed to get a satellite up into space? 0. How many times in the past 5 years have the top North Korean scientists failed to get a satellite into space? Do you want that number? Well over 250, right? They did another one fucking yesterday, right? And it goes up in the air like a fucking kid with a bottle rocket.
The fact that
Hold on, pause here.
We're still rolling?
Think so. Yeah, look. So I'll give you this. 5 to 10 years ago, I was definitely not smarter than the smart scientists in North Korea. Not because of my education, but because of all those failed attempts. He's killed every top. Like, they're all... Every time one of these fucking things fails, he kills a bunch of scientists, and then you're down to the next tier of shitty scientists. And then they do a launch, and that fails because they're shit. The entire part of this, so North Korea tried to get a fucking satellite up into space yesterday. It inevitably failed, since North Korea is terrible at fucking everything. On the other side, less than 2,000 miles away, Japan's sending a wooden satellite up into space.
Japan
made of wood.
And they've successfully.
No, they've not done it yet. But like they're doing. That's the biggest fucking flex of all fucking time. They got this tiny little shit country. They can't do.
Was that like that Ibrahimovic saying about Carew? Is it Carew that played for Norway? And he was like, anything he can do with a football, I can do with a Satsuma.
Yeah, I just found it so fucking funny. These articles were right beside each other because I don't think does anyone take North Korea seriously?
But you know what? I don't take them seriously, but I take them seriously enough to know I'm not the most intelligent scientist there. I don't think I'm the best footballer in North Korea. I don't think I'm the best mathematician.
I am absolutely the best footballer in North Korea.
I think I'm the best comic in North Korea.
I am the best. Here's the thing, right? I am the best. I'm the smartest scientist in North Korea. I'm the best footballer. I'm the best tennis player. I'm the best dad. I'm the best mum.
Okay.
I'm the best journalist. I'm the most well-read.
But like, do you just believe that they can't just be normal over there despite living under that
100%. I do not believe any of them can be because they're not given normal TV.
I don't think.
But have you not? Do you know like? Do you believe that like in North Korea you're not allowed to take like photos and stuff?
No, what I'm basing all of this on is like the many interviews and like the talks of the people from North Korea.
Like right now, I could go to North Korea, with a video camera, and show you videos of them all being normal.
What do you mean? What do you mean normal?
Like just walking down the street and not all praising Lord Emperor.
I don't
like
buy
most of the
Remember
normal.
when we went to Moscow and we were shocked because they're just quite liberal and nice and sweet.
Because it's America and stuff. The news does overdo what North Korea does.
You've got propaganda to think they're the best scientists in the whole country.
Because they are mental, but they're not.
Man, I'm not even in the top 1,000 scientists in Blythe.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I wasn't like the best in science in my class.
Also, by the way, I was just going to clarify. If this comes across as racist, I'm absolutely fine to be racist to North Koreans. I am categorically not a fucking
Those
problem
bald
with
cunts.
I could not care less. I'm never going to go there. They're never going to hear this. Fuck them all. From the oldest North Korean to the youngest. Fuck every last one of them. Not interested.
Persecuted people.
Yeah, man. Just like you know what? I'll need to now that you've mentioned it, I will need to do more fucking research.
That's like you
on
going, fuck all of the kids in Fritzl's basement. Absolute cunts, a lot of them.
I will need to do more because mine was always based on like the people that have like left and talking about like the starvation there and the tactical like use of what they're allowed to see and like the fear and stuff. Maybe I should expand my fucking research to more than that. But originally this was just a flex of the fact that I think it's so funny. You can't get a fucking satellite into space.
Can you even do...
And then Japan's just there with like a little paper airplane with an elastic band on it and they went,
Can you even do it? Moon. Can you even do anything with a wooden satellite? Is that just a flex? Or they're just like, haha, like mock satellite? Or is that how you get Channel 5? Is that why Channel 5's that way? It's fuzzy. Channel 5's got a wooden satellite.
Wood is apparently, there's been new research on it for the past couple of years, is a really good material for in space because it doesn't...
I was going to say, it doesn't tell us hemp makes the best satellites.
No, I think it's... I mean, you'll probably know more about this. They didn't go into explanation in the article because obviously someone like me wouldn't fucking understand it. But obviously because it just deteriorates less and there's nothing in space that will fucking make it go down. So it's cheaper. You can get very strong wood. Obviously, you're not making the rocket that gets it into space out of wood.
Yeah.
You know, they've read the Three Little Pigs. But like,
they made it out of bricks. Three little pigs. The brick shuttle.
We can now talk about the wedding now that I've done my racism.
You hit me with the weirdest slam on one of the previous podcasts.
What?
You're like, and I'll talk about the podcast with Kai, but obviously he's going to talk about it from his point of view. I'm like, I don't know what other point of view to talk about it from. So this is me talking to you about your wedding from the point of view of your mum.
Yeah, but this is... think what I meant is you'll be like, this happened. And then people go, well, that's not what happened. You'll go like, well, I remember it that way. So that's how it happened. And the rest of us have to go, all right, well, I guess we all just live in this alternative reality now.
So the fun stories that I embellish on aloud.
Yeah.
Okay. So we arrived on the Thursday.
We did.
Fucking hell, I'm under such scrutiny here. What did we do on the Thursday? I watched the match.
Oh, you did. We played some frisbee golf. We drank. What did we eat? We must have eaten something.
Nope. No, there was no adults there, Daniel.
Yeah.
There was no adults. You hadn't invited anybody that was capable of feeding her.
No, that's not true. Jill was
Nah, we had a fucking pie. You had some fucking.
Oh yes, we'd gone to fucking Craigie's and got the big steak pie. And aye. Okay, fair enough.
Big nice steak pie. That was such a chilled night. I loved that night because there was just no pressure on, fucking no pressure to get drunk, just drinking steady. Just fucking, like I say, I floated off and watched the match for a bit, enjoyed the land, played a bit of frisbee golf, fucking Peacock strut and run, which the novelty didn't wear off after 4 days of fucking these majestic
Also, let's talk
beasts.
about the fucking noises that peacocks make.
They're like the goats off Love and Thunder.
Oh, they're not the worst thing to happen to movies.
I mean, they're definitely ballpark, that noise.
But it's just like,
Majestic plume. The feathers that are cultivated over the course of the spring.
Yeah. And
to bring in a new mate. And then they do that. You're like, just zip it.
Yeah. Be like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but you actually, with that noise, you belong in a city centre in Australia. That's the noise that exists there.
You know when a lass is like gorgeous, like fucking 10 out of 10 good looking, and they're speaking their scouse, and you're like, oh, okay. Okay, I see the catch. Scouse is one of them. Scouse is one of those accents where you just go, oh. Don't be thick, meer sochen, mag meer zeg. I'll have sex met chicken nuggets and crunchy McFlurry.
God, I had me cocks inside me body, man.
I like Gerard, he's got the look. Oh. Yeah, all right. Put a sock in it. Put a sock in it.
I don't think I could buck a Glasgow lass. Or like a real Glasgow. Not your Glasgow.
Just fucking shots fired away. All right.
Five.
You're in a room with two people that are shagging Glaswegians. You're fucking an Aberdonian.
She's quite thick. Thick accent, sorry. Thick accent's what I meant.
She's a dumb bitch.
She's a dumb bitch. She'd be maybe the number 5 scientist in North Korea.
If they kill a few more.
I think
the Glaswegian one, like the really heavy.
Oh, I mean, let's stop slinging shit out. I reckon a real Fife chick.
I didn't ken where you're fair.
And go, oh man, I'm gonna fucking come, man. That's fucking class. I'll fucking yard out of me ass.
Yaldi.
That's Glasgow.
Excuse
me, can you come on my tits, please? I'm no on the pill, and that fucking Johnny looks pretty shite. Oh god.
What about Johnny?
I can't believe I got HIV from a blowjob.
Can you book a Johnny, lass? Oh yeah, man, I'm sopping wet hoe.
Aye, I could. Aye, it's a fun accent. Aye, Bristol. Oh, Gertlish. Right up me chufter.
Oh, cheers,
oh,
drive.
Fucking hell. What a wide fucking cock you've got. Big fan of that. Fully on board, absolutely. Tiddly-dee, shove it up me cunt.
That's a 3-incher. So peacocks are heavily accented. Beautiful, heavily accented people.
Thick, and they're dumb as fuck. They're dumb as fuck. So it's like there's a specific like mating season, and then the peacock ladies lay their peacock eggs, and then they'll just be like sitting down on their eggs, and other peacocks will have no idea that that's a woman that's just given birth and is trying to raise her child, and all the other peacocks will be like, huh? Seen that bitch up there? She stared right at me.
And the maternity ward. What's on this bitch?
Man, literally, it's like going to the maternity ward and be like, which one of you sluts, eh?
What do you reckon of that?
Oh, wait.
What do you reckon of this, yeah?
Wait, this will never make it onto Instagram. I've ruined it.
Gonna get cancelled.
Yeah, I've ruined the fucking bit because male nipples aren't allowed on Instagram anymore, are they?
Oh. Oh, so instead of letting women's tits on, they stop males. That's not what we're trying to achieve, guys. We lost sight of the goal somewhere along the way. We're trying to see tits. Right. We're trying to free the nipple.
Well, I think maybe that may be wrong. Maybe that's the. I think because women's nipples definitely aren't. But like, male nipples.
Twitch did that.
Is that where my confusion's coming in?
One.
Aye. God, just a woman that's just given birth, being like, I can tell you want this fat cock, don't you, love? I'm just trying to breastfeed my son. Take my dick.
I've just had 6 stitches, mate.
No, I'm all right. I'm trying to get...
Me gooch reaches my asshole, like, it's...
They also flirt with themselves. Like, so the equivalent of that would be like, while the guy's flirting with all the women on the maternity ward, he turns around, sees a mirror, and is like, who needs you, sluts?
Johnny Bravo. Speaking of, you made us think with that nipple thing. I was with one of my mates yesterday before the gig, and she was telling us that she took her son to this overseas football trip over in Amsterdam, and they took the whole squad of lads walking around fucking Amsterdam and happened upon the red light district. So all these like fucking 9-year-old lads were just like, but fucking all of the curtains shut immediately. Boom, boom, boom. I never even thought about that. Imagine how awkward that is for the lasses. They're just there like, fucking want some of this shit. You fancy it? No, but I'm just tidying. Cleaning up.
I do not buy any of this.
That you just happen upon the red light district.
Fuck. No way,
Walking around Amsterdam with a group of kids.
No way.
Do you think the dads were like, I wonder what's this way?
Oh yeah. Just the map's taking me this way. Bullshit.
You don't think it can happen upon the red light district, walking around aimlessly, just having a little wander around the shops?
No, because first, man, we've been. It's only weed shops and pubs, and there. It's not like there's creches.
But it's also not signed. It's not signed, is it? Maybe it is. Probably is.
I mean, there's red lights. Like the clue's in the fucking name. Like surely the first time you see a red light, you're like, all right, well let's.
Maybe that's just a Geordie initiation. Just take all the Geordie lads over to Amsterdam. There you go. And it's funny. There we go. Back on the boat.
If your mum asked, we won 3-0. Just go down to some trophy shop in Amsterdam. Just make out to Blythe Youth Spartans, please. Make second place. We wanted to be unbelievable.
The flights were really expensive. Yeah. Thought you got the ferry. No. Spend thousands on flights.
Oh yeah, those poor women. That must be, not what you want to see. But imagine it's like when you're
a school trip coming doing the way where they're fucking.
I mean
that felt wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Beep that.
I was about to try and compare it to stand up, being like, you know, that awkwardness of like when you're doing a show and there's a kid and not a baby. I don't like babies in show is always a weird thing that happens. Like I understand why parents do it, but and as a comedian, it doesn't bother me as long as and I understand that kids can sleep through things and babies can sleep through things, and you're a responsible parent. You'll take your baby out in the back if it does make noise. That's not why I don't like babies in the show. I don't like babies in the show because all 40 people around you are going to be going, there's a baby. There's a baby there. Why is that baby there? And they're not going to be watching the fucking art. Under the age of like 13, like when those kids are in audiences, like I'll always take it to the fucking parent, but it is like an uncomfortable thing unless you're John Mulaney and you have a plant.
Do you think so?
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Baby,
you know what
baby
God
J,
is?
John Mulaney, the kid that you fucking speak to, is a plant. We have friends that were at the London show and say the exact same thing happened there.
Ouch. That hurt me, that.
Yeah, it's gross.
That hurt me.
It's gross.
You know what? I did think it was a little bit, you know, when he was just like, you over there, how old are you? You cannot say that.
Nah.
We've been on these stages. You are not pointing someone out that's up on the balcony.
To be fair, the way John Mulaney does light it, because there's lots of shots of the from the back. He's not like me, where he's like make them invisible to me.
Yeah.
So I believe that he could see it.
He could see.
I mean, it's a confirmed plant.
Yeah, and it was just I thought he'd actually like come on first, done a bit of compare, and found the kid. So this is how I thought it was conveniently like, you, how old are you? I thought he'd come on, done a little bit of flirting with the audience, done a bit of comparing, spotted the kid. And then went, right, I'm going to bring you into the show and then get off.
Yeah.
Right, I thought he'd set it up on the day. But I didn't think he brought along his own 13-year-old. Weird.
Is this a Patreon?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Saving it? So you're saying didn't bring kids under the age of 13 to the gig because that's a bit weird. I can confirm that like anything that was said on stage. I mean, I can't confirm that anything that was said on stage would have like been, oh my god, fucking clutching me pearls, I'm an innocent child, because I found recently I was sent a book of poems that we wrote when we were in school when we were 12. Do you want to read what girls were writing about me in the jotter when they were 12 years old?
Wait, girls were writing about...
Do you want to read what...
Yes, I do, but I need
Do you want
further
context?
Yes, infinitely more. First of all, because you said we, and we
Right.
means us.
Right, so my jotter hasn't shown up, right? But Tracy Stansfield, remember Tracy, who comes to the gigs? Our son come to our gig when he was about 10.
Yes.
And he's about 25 now.
Yeah.
So their youngest, 16. So she got two kids, the youngest 16, and he come to my show with her on Saturday in London, and we're talking about these poems that we used to write. We're just like, fuck, we used to just roast each other. We used to just like chat like fucking the worst shit and then hand each other a jotter and just fucking, there's a fucking roast about you. And I put a picture of me, Tracy, and our son up, and this lass who I knew, because Tracy goes, Sarah's probably got my jotter, because I think she ended up with it. I just haven't spoken.
So just for any international, jotter is like our workbooks, like school workbooks. Like,
and you'd put wallpaper on it.
Yeah.
You'd wallpaper them. I don't know why. You'd wallpaper your jotter.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. It's like there was a period in time in schools where they made you wallpaper your jotters, and also whenever there was art, you had to bring in one of your dad's old shirts so you could put it on backwards while you did art stuff. Yeah.
Like weirdly, everybody knew what the inside of your house looked like. You got it to school again, a little sample of what my walls are. In case you're wondering what inside the Humphries household looks like. White clouds on a blue background. Weird. Weird living room.
Oh, wait, hold on. The Toy Story wallpaper.
And I have got Andy written on my foot. So I looked, the first time she mentioned about we used to do these and that one might be in existence, I looked up Sarah Rafferty, right, and couldn't find her. Obviously married, got a married name, and she commented on the post going, I've got one of the jotters. Do you want to read what girls were saying about us when they were 12?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, I'll just mention this because you'd mentioned it before and it really only fucking hit home to me the other day. You used to do it as a bit. Me and Kara got married. Kara's taking my second name because she asked me if I had a preference, and I had to admit, yeah, even though I'm a forward-thinking person, some archaic part of me wants you to have my fucking second name, right? Because there's a million Mitchells, there's no Slosses. My son is called Sloss, he's our son. For a bunch of bullshit reasons that anyone could pick apart, I want to have my second name. If you really don't want it, I won't force you to. But Kara's like, hey, it's important to you, I love you, doesn't make too much difference to me. Absolutely, I'll change my name to Mrs. Sloss.
But there was just no way you were changing it to Mitchell. That was just like, nah, I'm not getting down on one. You're not getting down on one knee. I'm not taking a second name. Not happening.
And I know this is a bigoted, backwards opinion I have, and I really am trying to work on it.
But fucking so what, Baldy?
Your bird's set. I'm growing. No.
I know a man that did it because his wife had a child that he raised, and when he married her mother, the girl called him dad. Still calls him dad, even though they're divorced now. He wanted to have the same second name as her, the daughter, and she couldn't change her second name because the original dad, even though he was playing no part, wouldn't have it and all that. So he changed his name to be the same as his daughter's, which is really sweet. That's a real fucking loophole on it, that. And then he changed it back the minute they got divorced. So
Excuse me, darling. I'm just going to change my second name to your ex-boyfriend's name. Is that cool?
When you put it like that.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Oh, no, it wasn't the ex-boyfriend's name. It was the mother's name.
Oh, right, okay.
It was the mother's name.
Right. Then in that one,
I would love to have gotten involved in that form of slander on this particular friend.
Okay, I'll concede. There are obviously
a friend who I know, right, will listen to this podcast when I'm dead. He's never listened to the podcast, just in the fact that he's never ventured into the world of podcasts. But I know he'd love this.
Aye.
And one day he's going to do the full catch up.
And it'll
be really funny whenever we tell these little stories about him and he knows it's about him.
So just to finish point, her name is now Cara Sloss, Mrs. Sloss. It's my mum.
Do you know that's one of my routines?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, got you.
The good thing is, my mum isn't Mrs. Sloss. My mum is Dr. Sloss.
Yes, got you.
So there's a bit of a...
There's a bit of thing
there.
But it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a weird tradition.
It's now really made me... It was the second that somebody went, Mr. and Mrs. Sloss. And I went, oh, what have I done?
Yeah. Linda.
She's still got time to undo it and not send the forms in. Am I going to let her do that?
Oh, that was a funny moment.
Listen to me. Let
my wife. On the Thursday, it was so funny because you wouldn't let it go, it's not your fault. And you're still not going to let it go, it's not your fault. Cara handed you the file with the certificates and the passports in. And you were going into the car specifically to take these down to the place. Right? And you went to the car with the thing in your hand that should give you. And then you went, ooh.
Nope.
Board games.
Already wrong.
Oh, is this what you meant by Kai's going to tell his version of
yes.
It was nothing to do with the wedding itself. It was to do with you fucking not taking ownership.
You are telling the story wrong. I come into the room.
Can I just give some facts then?
Sure.
Right. You were handed passports and wedding certificates.
Correct.
You left the passports and wedding certificates next to the board games.
Yes, correct.
You then proceeded to say, we've lost the wedding certificates.
Wrong.
I've lost the wedding certificates. And then everybody in the house looked for the wedding certificates and couldn't find them because why would anyone check up by the board games? And then Jack checked up by the board games. Yeah, he did. Like, fuck. And then you were just like, not my fault.
Not my fault. Not my fault.
So there's the facts. There's the facts of what
utterly not my fucking fault. There are, especially in a relationship, if Cara was somebody I'd never met before, if you were somebody I'd never met before, if my brothers were people I'd never met before, entirely my fucking responsibility. Cara knows me. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it's ADD. We don't know if it's ADHD. We don't know if it's just my brain's mangled for years of fucking drug abuse. I cannot focus on one thing at a fucking time. And when I can be really focused on it. If you distract me in that time, I will delete every memory of my current fucking task. I wish this wasn't the way I am. I would love a pill to make this not be the way I am. Unfortunately, it is the way I am. And if you are marrying me, it is your responsibility when I am running around a room, getting stuff into the car, to not give me the most vital document in the world.
And grab you by the hair and go, this is vital. Stop what you're doing. Look at this. Don't let go of this.
And then so she does exactly that. She's like, do not let go of this. Do not let go of this. Do not lose this. And I'm like, great. I'll go put it in the car. I go to put it in the car. She went, what about board games? And I went, oh, yeah, great idea. I go up, get the thing, leave it there. Her fault. Her fucking fault. Her fault entirely. I take zero responsibility. How fucking...
I can see how this marriage is going to work. It's you not taking accountability for your own actions and her just going path of least resistance. I am sorry, Daniel, for not handing
she
you
never apologised. Again, she made fun of me the entire time and I took the fucking abuse. I'll just not have the fault. It's like, I think...
It was so funny watching you just do all of the talking at the venue and just talking, basically what you've just done there and everyone just like,
It's you in relationships. I believe your fucking responsibility is to understand what your partner needs, doesn't need, can do, won't do, and Cara does that so much in a relationship, and I do it so much. Like she understands. Like I understand that if she's fucking feeling tired. Like she'll be on fucking low energy. Sometimes she doesn't feed herself because she's distracted by other things. I know that about her. So instead of yelling at her for not eating or anything, I'll just go cook something for her and bring it to her. Because I know if she's handed food, she'll always eat it. If you ask her what she wants, she'll not be able to tell you what she wants. Nah. So you just cook something for her, give it to her.
So you figure out a workaround.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean.
Yeah, Natalie has learned to just be really explicit with instructions to me.
Crucial.
Like, don't leave anything unsaid or implied.
No.
Like, tell me everything that needs to be.
Preheat oven to this. Shut oven door. Put tin foil down on these are the instructions.
Remove from the box.
And this stupidity is 100% our fault. It's our fault as people. But
I have made a cup of coffee without a cup before. I forgot the cup.
And since you're meant to be like the other half of me and keep this thing going, and look, I'm aware.
She's like, milk, 1 sugar, please. She didn't say a cup.
And you're like, You can't even milk sugar. So, the other one...
You seen that meme where it says chill in the freezer? He's just reading a book in the freezer. Sorry, go on.
The other one that I'm trying to bring up to is, again, this is something, again, my fault, my responsibility, but there just needs to be more compassionate understanding. I don't know if I'm a bit deaf or if I just don't pay attention to things. Like, I don't think it's selective fucking hearing, but like, and I hate being the person. There's nothing worse than the third what. There's nothing worse.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to say that again. Write it down here. Write it down.
Sorry, what did you say? And then when you're going, right, this is my fault because I'm deaf, and it's excruciating, and I put my ear forward, and I'm really fucking trying to listen. I'll have Kaylin in my arms, screaming, and there will be 2 cats meowing there, and she'll be sat on the couch facing the opposite direction, and then she'll whisper me an important bit of information. She'll be like, what? Oh, I said... What? I know it's my fault. I wish I wasn't fucking deaf. But could you turn around and speak to me to give me lip reading as a fucking... Text me if you don't want to make eye contact. Right?
Have I married Shy Ronnie?
And I know it's my fault. I know I wish I wasn't fucking deaf. And I can see you not getting exasperated, but like when... It's not worse. The 4th time you say what, she goes, it doesn't matter. And you go, it does matter. It was important enough for you to repeat it 3 times. I want to hear it for the 4th time so I can do whatever it is. But you need to put effort into... That's where sound goes.
Help us out here. If I hear Natalie talking from another room, we both know that's not important. We're just like, cool, yeah. Sure. It's like a WhatsApp you're never going to catch up on.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I didn't need to catch it. Would you like to see what girls were writing about me in their jotter when they were 12? There's a couple of these. One of mine was actually written into this jotter where they copied it out of my jotter onto this one, so you do get to read what I mean. This is
Kai's poem. So wait, you wrote
this. I didn't write this one.
Well, I can tell by the handwriting it's not yours. I don't know what your shitty iPhone did.
Do you know what I mean?
He looks so cool.
Thanks.
With ginger hair.
Yeah.
People tend to stop, stare.
Stop and stare.
Is in quotation marks. So it's either like shortened version of and or...
Shake and vac.
Oh, yeah. Salt, vinegar. People tend to stop and stare. Of all the family, he's the runt.
Oh, no, that rhymes with...
Because he fancies James Blunt.
No. He was probably also about 9 at the time.
Because he's the fucking ugly cunt. Are you the same age as James Blunt?
I've got no idea. I'm 39, but I don't know how old James Blunt is.
I reckon James Blunt, 47.
There's a date in some of the jotters so we can actually know we were 12 when these were written.
Okay. He belongs in Stoke-on-Trent.
That's the worst thing anyone can say about a person.
I've always known he was bent. He's the last in the human race. Oh, by the way, he needs a brace.
That bit was true, but the Stoke-on-Trent bit, like, it's so funny. Like, you go, why would you say that about a child that he belongs in Stoke-on-Trent? It's the worst thing you can ever say about a person.
Yeah. Well, the next line is, I've always known he's bent. You're like, oh, I wouldn't mind if I was bent.
Oh, yeah. I'm gay, I'm cunt. Right, I'm runt of the litter, and buck teeth. Stoke-on-Trent, bud. Hello, man, Tracy. We're 12.
I've got a family.
So this is that's one about Kevin Turner.
Okay.
That's Tracy Stansfield, Wesley Mann. So there's like...
I gotta ask, right? How come girls' handwriting is immaculate from the age of 5?
Don't know. I think they take pride in it.
They must do.
Aye.
But like...
I think it's important to them.
Is it...
No,
I don't want to be sexist here,
always...
but is it because they keep diaries?
Aye.
Is it because they write lots of things all the time?
And if anybody finds it, they're just like, oh, I didn't think anyone would find that old thing. I thought it was scrappy. I just forgive me handwriting.
But it's just like I remember all the way through fucking high school, she's just got like all the blokes there holding it in their even like people holding it properly. It's fucking Dr. Chicken Scroll. every single woman just had this fucking like little bag of all the little gel pens. They had weird ways of writing their G's and their Y's. It was all joined up writing, fucking calligraphy. And there's me being like, the dog went to the zoo.
I clutching it.
Like big
Pencil sharpened at both ends.
I like this one. Drugs are good for you. If you are going to take drugs, please ask permission of your mother. I've genuinely done that. If you want to take drugs and you don't know where to get them, phone the drugs helpline on 016. They will be happy to advise you. Oh, and that number is Tracy's number.
House number.
Absolutely.
So probably still her parents' house number.
Yeah. So if you want, phone up Stacey's mum and ask her if you can do drugs. Because Stacey's mum has got it going.
Go on. It's Tracy also.
Or whatever. And also, if you're trying to quit, snap out of it. And phone our other helpline on 01670. And Sarah will try her best to persuade you not to. Will I shite?
Will I shade? She said she won't. Will I shade?
Oh, will I shite? Oh.
Will I boosh?
Oh, okay.
Do you want to read another one about me?
Sure.
Oh, read stupid letter. Stupid letters for
To Sarah, how are you today? I am very cush.
Cushty, belter.
Okay. Cush. And in case you didn't know, I think Richie's lush. So it actually was Cush. Do you fancy Neil, Sarah, or is it Dishy Kai? Yes, it's Kai. I know it is, so don't bother to lie. Are you going to ask him out, Sarah, or are you bloody not? Oh, please do. Go on, Sarah. Don't be such a snot. I'm sure that he'll go out with you. I'm sure he really will, because it says in the Shaggy Dolls he'll pay his prosy bill.
Yeah. 12.
1996 this was written. Prosy bill.
I wrote, the Raggy Dolls.
Aye.
They had the theme tune, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me. I changed it to Shaggy Dolls, and I must have mentioned in my rhymes, in my bars, that I paid me prosy bill.
So if you want some money, says
Sarah.
Okay, and you want a shag, come out on the game with me. I'm sure that you can tag. If you come out with me, Sarah, no more will be posh. And it's not the men we want, it's their fucking dosh.
12.
Bly this.
Man, and there's millions. This is Wesley Mann and Kevin Turner looking into each other's eyes, playing table tennis by the looks of it.
God, what you did before phones, eh?
So, right, this one's weird, right? Because
They're all weird, mate.
No, this one specifically.
Okay.
Because this switches handwriting, and I'm sure that's my handwriting, right? And it's a roast slam on me. So I think Tracy showed us our poem, slamming me, and then I just finished it. I think that's what happened.
Am I reading this whole thing?
And there's a police turnover on this one, so you'll have to look at the back of the iPhone. That's like when I asked Bros to send us a picture of his passport. He sent us a picture of his passport.
Oh, not I hate him because he's a swat. I confronted him. He says he's not. And we all know that he is gay. With Stephen Sticks, he likes to play. They're all 12, right? So 12. We apologise for all the homophobia.
And it's in the 90s. Yeah. Different time back then.
When there were no gays.
Imagine getting cancelled for something we said when we were 12.
Stephen doesn't mind at all. He covers them with grandma's shawl. He was at the chapel with his gran. He jumped the priest, then off he ran. He attends the chapel's coffee days, and with the priest he goes and prays. At least that's what he tells the people. They're really shagging in the steeple. Of all the family, he's the runt. They say he's such an ugly cunt.
We use the runt, you know what I mean?
They must be right. They can't be wrong. Rumours say he wears a thong. I think his hair might need a trim if Catherine is to fancy him. And then we move on to Kai's handwriting. So listen to this being much slower. God, it's like, you know that bit in Monty Python in the Holy Grail where it's like there's the black about like the warning for the little rabbit thing, and it's really nice writing, and then it's and it's him being murdered, and that's what this
or
is.
the meme of the drawing of the horse depicted in Game of Thrones by season 8.
Yeah. Drawn in several parts. Okay. Chris Evans.
Not Captain
You went to
America.
school with Captain America.
Not Captain America.
You went to school with Captain America.
No, I am talking about the now radio DJ, then Big Breakfast presenter, ginger with glasses, Chris Evans.
Chris Evans is who he looks like, and his grandma is a dyke. Jesus.
12.
His teeth slick out a little bit, and we all know he talks pure shit. He has a dog called Bender Butch.
No idea.
He likes the dog to lick his crotch. Crutch?
I've spelled it wrong.
Yep. I must say, I was impressed when I saw him get undressed. His little dick was gone and bare. He just
It looks like my handwriting.
insisted there was
can't
a
confirm.
fancy there. Then I saw he had boobs, and on his nipples were tiny pubes.
I don't know if Tracy was dictating while I wrote it, or if I was trying to just do me in the style of Tracy.
All I can say is, fancy that. Isn't he a freaky twat? His pubes should be on his dick. I bet he felt like such a prick. In maths, he is such a whiz. A laboratory disaster is what he is. I hate him, I really do. I'll crack his head with my fucking shoe. But now it's time to leave it there, for I must go and dye my hair.
Tracy.
Just, I can't. When you was, I can't remember what you said there, but you were talking about grooming a little bit, weren't you not? Is that what you said?
When?
Just during that.
Just
Aye.
now.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying I don't know if Tracy was like telling me what to write and I was writing it down, or if I was just doing it in the style of her.
Aye.
That's what I said. But I'll give you one more. There's millions of these about different people who you won't know, right? But this is this is the one that I wrote that she copied from my jotter into hers.
I was going to say that's not your fucking handwriting. This poem was written by Kai Humphries ages ago about me. Parentheses, Tracy, good, isn't it? 14th of April, 1996. Tracy. Is this, let's not be normal season? She shaves her eyebrows for no reason. She dyes her legs and dyes her hair and carries on without a care. She'll pierce her nose, but once a week, I have to admit she's a man-made freak. If I were her mom, I'd send her packing until she finds that brain she's lacking. Her legs are red, she's got purple hair. If I were her, I'd cry, it's unfair! I'd point a gun towards my head, and in 2 seconds flat, I would be dead. Because guns famously take 2 seconds.
It's got to bleed out. Oh no, I'd be shocked.
2 seconds to bleed out from a headshot.
Well, she said I should be in Stoke-on-Trent. That's what she gets.
Alternatively, I wouldn't sleep at night. I'd cry. I'd scream. Having a good life would just be a dream. I'd take a knife, slash through my throat. Tracy, take advice from what I've wrote. Jesus. You ever hit that?
12. Nah, but we used to go into the school nurse and say she was pregnant. I mean, I told you that.
Or just you're going to tell the nurse that she was pregnant?
You're pregnant, love. I can tell. Born in the oven. So we're chatting about this. We used to go into the school nurse and say that that would have been shagging, and we think she might be pregnant, and we're both like 12 years old. And we used to date because it was fucking bitter cold outside, and you could just go in and be inside by just taking up the school nurse's time. And we were gone. But we used to always go in and we used to tell her all this shit that social services should have been phoned for. So why weren't social services phoned? The nurse knew we were joking, she was in on it.
Yeah.
The nurse was just humouring her.
And also Blythe.
It's just normal. It's like, hurry up kids, there's a queue. She's all cradling their bellies. So the bitter irony of that is that Tracy went on to become a teenage pregnancy and drop out of school because she was pregnant at school.
Well, the girl who cried wolf.
Mm-hmm. And the absolute happy story, like fucking still with the same fella. He was one of the teachers. He's in his 60s and he was retired.
And finally, after all these years, his ban on teaching has finally been lifted. He's finally allowed within 500 feet of a school again. Which is great because his kids have been outside there for ages.
Well, happy family, like fucking the kids are adults.
I'm going to say two things here. Look, we're never going to get around to telling the full story of the fucking wedding. The only way to do this is if you have any questions about the wedding, send them in and we'll answer those. Otherwise,
we've got time to do another podcast if you want to keep rolling.
No. I have shit to do.
So we'll do the next one. We'll talk about it piecemeal over the course of his wedding, his marriage.
Over the course of the podcast and stuff. But if you've got any questions that you want answered about the fucking wedding, send it through to just give us a jumping off point. Because otherwise, we're just going to be telling you a fucking story like at the end of summer holidays, and then we went to this bit, and then we went to this bit, and it's I don't know what you want to fucking know. Also, you must feel fucking vindicated that Phillip Schofield.
Oh man, that fucking come prophetic, didn't it? I was
prophetic and fucking pathetic. Like, man, I find it. Man, you can tell he knew what he was doing, and he is guilty of everything he's being fucking accused of, and he should go to fucking prison. Is if the best thing that £1 million PR team can come up with to defend you is unwise. But not illegal, prison. Prison, unwise but not illegal, is millions and millions of pounds. Professionals, right, who are able to bring careers back from the best thing what they can say about what you fucking did was it was unwise but not illegal.
You know what?
Hey, he did something fucking horrific, but technically, not a crime.
Not touching conga, man.
Yeah, it's not a crime.
You know what? I'd rather do something wise than illegal.
Yeah.
Drugs?
Yeah.
Wise, illegal.
I want to say wise.
I don't know. Most of my best wisdoms come from that. Remember? Weetabix? Remember Weetabix?
No.
Where I poured a cup of tea on my Weetabix because there wasn't enough milk.
We shouldn't have just put milk in your fucking tea then.
No, there was a tiny little bit of milk. Enough to make a cup of tea. Poured my tea on my Weetabix. That was wise.
No.
While on a drug. That Phillip Schofield bit, when I was telling it, because it never really popped on stage. Even when you look at that clip that I'd done, half the audience going for it, half of them just like, why is he talking shit about National Treasure? Right? Like, on the podcast, I'm fucking riffing about it, not really getting much back in the way of like, fucking, I've been saying this, right? Like, I felt like that South Park episode where they're shooting up the school and Stan's like, why are we not talking about this? It was Stan's mum on it. Stan's mum, like, why are we not talking about this? And just everyone's like, ooh.
I'm absolutely fucking thrilled.
Aye.
Yeah, really thrilled that his life's gone to shit. Absolutely.
Pure cunt. You can tell, man. I just think you can tell he's got that fucking, early Emperor Palpatine vibes. Yeah. Where you going, aye, he's going to be the bad guy.
Man, he went to the Queen's funeral. Fuck him. Fuck him. Like, oh, God, I'm really hoping...
Did he hear his recent stuff that he's saying? He's like, I know how Caroline Flack must have felt before she killed herself.
He didn't.
He fucking did. I mean, I don't know my sources. I saw this quoted. I saw it in quotation marks on the internet. Right.
Mind you, Caroline Flack also did fuck someone else underage and groomed them.
Oh, did you? Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Did you?
Yeah, one of those. I'm pretty sure she was banging one of the One Direction ones when it wasn't. When it wasn't cool.
It's hot when it's that way.
Go and Google that because generally I don't want to slander her good name if I am slandering her good name. But
so Google,
Caroline Flack.
Google was Caroline Flack and nonce.
Aye.
Because that's the fucking he's not going to do that. He's too much of a narcissist. He's not going to.
Oh my man, he fucking claimed he would. He was like, oh man, I would.
Touch wood.
If it wasn't for my daughters being with me for the past week, I wouldn't be here. And you're like, man, how good's that PR company? Like, I just don't fucking go on.
It's a quote from her. It's really bad. She was like, I never felt. She was 17. He was 17, Harry 17. Styles. She was 31. And she said, I've never felt I was much older than Harry. I still feel 18 and I probably act that way half the time. She said that people called her a pervert for dating a 17-year-old. Because you are.
Unwise.
Because you are.
Unwise, Colin.
Unwise, but not illegal.
Not illegal, bud.
That is illegal, though, right?
No, 16.
Oh, right.
16. But it's
that big a difference.
So this is where I think the legality comes into it for Phillip Schofield. Position of power. Mm-hmm. He's working as if a university teacher fucks a 21-year-old student, illegal,
Well,
statutory.
Because the thing that I think it's Catherine Ryan regularly brings it up, and I do agree with her, which is why older men dating younger women, much like Leonardo DiCaprio does, is always fucking creepy. Is because the late part of the teens for women is a very important time in the development of I believe, their prefrontal cortex, their decision making skills, and it's an important time for the brain. And men come in and manipulate them and get in that prime time when they're easy to, and that's why men do it, and that's why it's creepy. And even though it's not illegal, it doesn't make it not fucking sinister, creepy, gross, and awful. Right? The reason we've made the law 16 is so that 19-year-olds don't get arrested for fucking 16-year-olds, because a 3-year gap isn't that fucking bad. And also, a 13-year-old gap between the ages of 43 and 30, not that fucking bad. But if you were specifically dating people under the age of fucking 20, right, when they're still fucking developing, and you were over the age of 30, you are a fucking creep.
I don't think it's illegal to eat your own shit. But you know, if you're fucking whacking
Unwise, but not illegal.
But you know, if you're fucking whacking to work, right, pop open your fucking lunch case and pick out a steamer and just start fucking chowing down on it, lick your fingers, and then fucking get back to work. Everyone's going to hate you. It doesn't matter what your personality's been like around that. You're the shit-eating cunt. He fucking sold his apology to the Sun anyway. That's not an apology if you sell it.
Well, he had to make all the money back from the PR company he paid to come up with Unwise but not illegal. That's the name of this podcast, by the way. Unwise but not illegal. I think slandering dead Caroline Flack is unwise but not illegal. It's the perfect name.
It would actually have been a good name for the podcast as a whole. Right, well, thanks for tuning in. See you in Romania.
And remember, be kind.
Be kind. Hashtag be kind to Philip.
Yep, yeah. He didn't do anything really great. It's not as if he was a 50-year-old millionaire who got a job specifically where he worked, and like all of those people ages ago in The Sun who had the countdown timer for Charlotte
Church, yeah.
until she became millionaire. It's definitely not just the gay male equivalent of that. It's not that at all.
But it is, bud.
It's actually, these are nods.